Alright, hey guys, we're up to a new episode, and today we've got a really interesting guest, to say the least. His name's Shahji. He is not only a sports anchor, but he also has an award to go along with that. Saad thinks it's an Emmy. It is an Emmy, but it's not like one of the Emmys, but
it is.
Still,
it technically is.
But it is a really prestigious award, so he's going to talk about that. And then we've also got the fact that he runs a YouTube channel, which I believe he started a month ago, right?
2 months ago.
2 months ago, yeah. So, like, I looked at the videos and I was like, oh, this guy started out around the same time as us. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, and he's way more charismatic than us. And I was like...
I mean...
and I was legit like, if you cover up his subscribers and you just watch his videos normally, and you would not guess... You would not be able to guess that this guy does not have thousands of subscribers.
I appreciate it. That's nice to hear.
Insane. I love your charisma. It's pretty contagious. I love your energy. Welcome to the show, Shahji.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's good to be here.
Do you have anything about yourself you'd like to add before we go on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Flex.
Yes. I'm left-handed.
Oh,
that's
beautiful.
a pretty fun fact about
me.
Beautiful. Let's see. I go to college. I'm a junior, just on summer vacation, so that's great. Yes, I'm a junior. I'm 21 years of age.
I thought you would have graduated. I thought you were like 24, 25.
No,
I thought you were like 21. Sir. I'm 21. I'm graduated though, so I gotta flex too.
Insane.
And then for my college, I'm the sports director for our television station, which is called North Texas Television. So I'm the sports director. I'm in charge of all sports shows and all sports content that comes out. I run 3 shows. One is like a sports debate show. The other one's a preview show that we do outside our football stadium. And the other one I do is a new show that I made. It's kind of like a trivia game show type with sports. So that was pretty fun to do this semester. But unfortunately with coronavirus, it got cut short. But it was still really fun to do.
This guy's enunciation is out of this world. I can't fucking speak that fast and enunciate my words that properly.
I mean, that's
practice. It's practice.
I swear, it's all sports commentating, whatever that shit is, man. Like, dude, you're pretty.
Growing up, I was always a big talker. So I mean, just how it goes.
Yeah,
I was meant to do this.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons me and Saad started this was we just really enjoy talking. At least for me, like I love talking to people. I love talking to people. 3 episodes into this podcast, I was like, dude, Saad, I just love the fact that I'm talking to a new person every other day and getting to know them. Like, it's good stuff. And it's
the main goal for this podcast was to just get to know as many people as possible because social currency is a big thing, and we were planning to grow this into a massive business where we could promote other businesses and other ventures that other people might want to bring onto our channel. So I noticed that you have a My Hero Academia poster at the back. What's up with that?
I was gonna call that out too.
Okay, look. You should see mine here. This is my entire room right here.
Oh, dude, this guy could be like the next Ray William Johnson, like with the whole fucking equal. You've got the perfect YouTubers.
Oh, I haven't heard that guy's name in 5 years.
Wow. I got all those right here, and then right here's all like my sports stuff, like all my sports photos.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
What sports do you commentate for?
So I don't commentate anymore. I used to for like high school sports, but right now I work for ESPN Radio in Dallas. And right now I've covered games like the XFL, which was cut short, unfortunately. And when I interned at CBS 11, which is also in Dallas, I got to go to a couple Cowboys games and help interview players. I've covered Dallas Mavericks, which was awesome. So yeah, I've only been 6-7 months into my my new ESPN Radio job that I got recently. So I'm just getting used to that. And obviously with coronavirus, like getting rid of all sports, I haven't been able to cover any sports.
Of course.
But it's just been a blast so far. I'm blessed to be in that position.
That is really cool. So how'd you start? If I know that you like talking, but how does one go from there to I want to be a news anchor, and how does one make it happen, or a sports anchor?
So funny thing is, I know a lot of like sports anchors and like a lot of people in sports always say that like, as a kid I knew. I never knew. I knew senior year of high school. That's what I knew I was going to do. So I was watching, so our high school has like a little news channel, I think it was called the Hawk's Nest, something like that. And basically students would do their own version of a news channel. And I was just sitting there, I was watching and I was like, oh, that's cool. It's pretty cool. And my friend was like, hey, I wish I did that class. And I was like, oh, what are you talking about? She goes, oh, there's a broadcasting class. I was like, there's a broadcasting class here? And, when summer came and I was applying for colleges, I was thinking like, man, what do I want to do? I really don't know. And my brother was talking to me and he was like, look, okay, let's see what you like to do. He's like, obviously, you're really great talking. You like talking to people. You're a really extroverted person. What else do you like? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, sports is always a great thing. And funny enough, Sports Center was on. And my brother was like, there you go. That's a job right there. And I was like, oh, you're right. So since then, I've been doing that. Now, as a kid, I'd say as a kid from age 10 to maybe 14, I was like, oh, I'm going to be a Bollywood actor.
No
got
way.
this.
No
But then
way.
I was like, but then I was like, here, let me try something a little bit more realistic. Let me try television. So far it's been doing pretty good. And yeah, I'm just, like I said, it's just great to be in that position and just working every day to get better at what I do.
Dude.
That's cool.
He's so fucking good, man. Dude, Salman, I'm kicking you off. He's my next co-host. Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm kicking you out, dude. When you said like he has more charisma than us, I thought you meant like my charisma's up here and yours down here, and that's why we like equal out below him. No,
get out of here.
It's always really cool to hear about like unique career paths. So it's good to have that perspective.
Yeah. So what I want to know is that what were some of the challenges and the issues that you faced coming up from where you started and to where you are right now? What were the issues that you might have faced?
In terms of like broadcasting?
No, generally, like, coming up, were there any hurdles? Were there any obstacles that you had to overcome? Because I always like to hear, great success stories like that. Like, I want to know if there were any issues. Or was it just like a completely smooth ride? What was it like, getting to where you are right now?
I wouldn't say it was a smooth ride. Obviously, being Muslim, I've had stuff happen, I've had people say stuff. But thankfully that hasn't affected my line of work yet. I mean, I've met people that have been very accepting and very welcoming, which has been great. I mean, in terms of work struggles, I've luckily haven't been able to go through that yet. And I'm just thankful for that because the people I've been around have just been truly amazing. And I just think that they see my work and they realize, hey, this guy, he cares about what he does. So that's been great. I mean, obviously I've had stuff happen at home, like that kind of personal troubles, dealing with depression, being bullied at school, stuff like that. But I mean, I'm getting better every day. I'm trying to I think around I'd say maybe last year I've started to have just a more positive outlook on life instead of just trying to be negative all the time. I try to see positivity. I know it's hard. I know that's a really cheesy thing to say.
No, it's true. It's very true. You should always. It's all about perspective. Honestly speaking, it is all about perspective.
I understand. And like, trust me, I know. Like, as someone who went through depression, when I hated it when people said like, "Oh, it's fine. Things are gonna be fine." I think that's a horrible thing to say to somebody like that. You need to like just understand their situation, just try and be as accepting as possible, and do whatever it takes to help them out. Because that's what I needed. And, I figured it out and, I'm getting better every day. So that's great. And like I said, I'm just having a positive outlook on life. I'm blessed to have the job I have, to be the career I have, to be in a position where you guys want to interview me. Like, that's crazy. I never thought that. I never thought, like, if you told me 5 years ago that, like, hey, you'd win an award. Hey, you'd be working at ESPN Radio. You'd be covering Mavs games. I never think that, Wow. And now that I'm here, it's like, of course, I want to be here.
And I'm glad that you think of, like, us interviewing you as a big thing. And not like, oh, I'm going to let them interview me because, I got like an hour in the morning, it's fine. What am I going to do after breakfast anyway?
I got nothing to do, sir, okay? I got no school, nothing.
Dude, that's literally our origin story. We have nothing to do.
Dude, Salman, we started this because we had like a proper goal in mind. Don't tell people we had nothing to do, man.
That's fair. Me and Saad have always wanted to start up a business.
चिल्ला के और जाके स्कीम बता दे तुम लोगों को.
Yeah, we all just sitting together like, podcast करें? चलो.
That's exactly
time
how it started.
That's
exactly how it fucking started. That was the exact conversation. You fucking nailed it.
So me and Saad have always wanted to start a business, and we thought, okay, we'll start one, in the future when we're both in the same country, in the same city, when we've got time and money. But then on the phone a couple weeks ago, Saad was like, dude, we should start a podcast. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. He wasn't serious, but here we are today.
I didn't expect him to say yes.
14 episodes later, here we are.
Hell yeah! And what I want to know is that, Shahji, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, obviously, I'm not talking about like your main big goals and everything, but like, considering the trajectory that you have right now, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully graduated.
No
That's
shit.
one thing.
That's one thing, yeah.
Hopefully graduated. I think I want to get a couple more internships under my belt, just to get more real life experience, and then continue my job at ESPN Radio Dallas. I've met some great people there.
Yeah.
Some people are very experienced in the business.
I'm sure.
And I mean, that's an interesting question because I could really say anything. I could say like, oh, I mean, I want an internship at ESPN. I want to work at ESPN. I mean, most likely that won't happen. I'm just going day to day, trying to better myself every day. But I'd like to see myself obviously graduated and then maybe have a couple more internships under my belt because, I mean, there's nothing wrong with talking to more people who have just been in this business longer than you, who are better at this than you. Exactly. And it's great to learn from them. That way you can better yourself. That way you can try and get to their level and hopefully pass their level. That way you can just, be at the top.
Yeah. What I want to know is what did you study? What's your major?
So my major is Converged Broadcast Media, and I have a minor in communications, and that's basically where for CBCM I make video packages. This helps my interview process. Helping editing videos. Making videos, making graphics. That's the whole point of the major, to better yourself in the broadcasting industry. Because one thing that was great, and this was technically a struggle for me, was when I first came in, I thought, oh, I'm just going to be on camera all day, just talk, and then that's it. I'm done for the day. No, that's not true at all. And I'm glad I got humbled. I'm glad I got humbled at school because, you got to learn everything. You got to learn how to make a video. You got to learn how to edit. You got to learn how to interview people. You got to learn how to write your stories. You got to learn how to write a webpage story. And I've learned all that, and I've gotten so much better at it. I didn't even know what some of these editing systems were, and now all of a sudden I'm the sports director and I'm the ambassador for our department. So that's crazy to me.
What do you use for editing? What software? Premiere Pro?
Yes. So far I've learned everything from Premiere, and then at my internship we were using Edius, so I know those two a lot. And then obviously for audio, at the radio station we use Adobe Audition, so I've just been using that.
Yeah.
So
can you please tell this guy to learn Premiere Pro, because this guy
Oh, I know how to use Premiere Pro. My laptop just can't handle it, so I'm using.
Yeah, no, laptops do not handle it. You got to get a PC for that.
You got to get a system.
Yeah. For that. So yeah, I think for like laptops like Mac, they have one called Final Cut. Made for.
Yeah, it's
made for the computer, which is why it's better. But for a PC, Premiere is like 1,000 times better.
Premiere is a beast.
It's great.
Yeah. So tell me, I've been looking at your YouTube videos. Like I've just seen one, and it was a movie review. You do Bollywood movie reviews. So tell me where that started. Where do you plan on taking that entire thing?
I mean, like I said, I've always loved movies as a kid. I just like to escape for like 3 to 4 hours at a time, just watching Shah Rukh Khan movies or just any Bollywood movie. And I always thought about it'd be so much fun to talk movies because I love that so much. Because as much as I love sports. And I really do love sports. My first love was entertainment and movies. That's what I always loved. So I just never had time because my job was so time consuming. But now that, quarantine's happening and I have so much time on my hands and, I have a little bit more leeway now. I started this, I was like, okay, I got to do this. If there's any time to do this, I can do it now. It's now. And I've been having a blast doing it. Like, I don't care about subscriber count or view counts.
Exactly.
I mean, I share it on my social media because if people want to watch it. But like I personally just love doing it. I love making people laugh. I love entertaining people. When like my friends text me saying like, "Oh, this part was so funny," or like when my sister calls me and she starts like joking about it. That's what I live for. I love doing that. It's just great to have that.
It's funny you say that because I think that's like the main reason that me and Salman are still doing this podcast is because our friends text us. They're like, "Oh shit, this part was fucking hilarious. I died laughing at this part." Or
I think it's crazy people listen to us at all.
Yeah, dude, people are taking out 20 minutes of their day, giving us their time, and honestly, nothing could be more valuable.
and that's something I appreciate. Like when I started this job, people have started to talk to me more, and like I have like people that I didn't really used to talk to. They start talking to me, and they're like, "Hey, man, I see you doing this," and I really appreciate that they notice my work and that they find joy in it. That's the best thing. Is that I want to be able to be really credible and great at my job, and the fact that people enjoy it makes it even better. That's just like, it's like cherry on top.
Also having that extra revenue stream never really hurt anybody. Having like a backup plan, or let's say you become YouTube famous, you'll be that YouTube famous ESPN sports anchor. You'll have your own sub niche within a niche,
I also
is
think
pretty insane.
You mentioned you wanted to be a Bollywood actor. as a child. I think this is your internal desire to break into that niche. And then, from there, one day you'll be like, hey, I've been reviewing your movies. Can I be in the next one?
Yeah.
No, I mean that sounds amazing. I think I've kind of given up on that. Once I decide to do this, I'm 100% in all of it. I do nothing more than try to perfect my craft. Like once the semester starts again, I'm back to doing sports. It's 100% back into it, trying to better myself, and I'll still do my channel as much as I can, but I know I won't have as much time as I do right now. But I'm still going to do it. But 100% my number one priority and goal is to be better at what I do.
Of course. So tell me, where can we see your sports commentary and all that? Do you have any channels, or do we just log into ESPN? Where do we go to see you?
No, so I have a website. I think it's shahjiadam.foliotech, something like that. I don't remember the URL.
We can throw that link down there.
I'll send it to y'all.
Link in the description.
Yeah, I'll send it to y'all. You can put it in the link. Yeah, you'll see a bunch of my old photos of what I've done at Cowboys games, at Mavs games.
I saw that. I saw that. Yeah. It was pretty fucking bad. So I'm like, whoa, this guy is really accomplished. When I saw that EMMY fight, I'm like, who the fuck do we have on the show today?
That means a lot. And then you'll see my resume, all my work history. You'll see both my video reels, which I know what people would want to see. You'll basically see my broadcasting reel, basically a highlight of everything I've done from CBS to from NTTV, basically everything I've learned. And then my play-by-play reel is when I did commentary for high school football, basketball, lacrosse. You'll just see some of my just my best calls that have been put together. And so those are two separate videos.
Do you do MMA? Do you do MMA commentary?
I've never done it before. I grew up a WWE fan. I'm still a WWE fan.
Same.
I'm still a huge professional wrestling fan, so that'd be really fun.
What do you watch more, WWE or AEW right now?
I watch WWE. The thing is that, and here's the thing, it's not a knock against AEW. I'm sure it's a fantastic program. It's just that because, like I said, my job is so crazy time consuming, and I don't have time anymore to watch even WWE as religiously as I used to.
Yeah.
I decided that, look, okay, I can't keep up because I used to watch all wrestling promotions. I used to watch WWE, Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground. I used to watch all of that. But then once my job started to become a little bit more serious and more time consuming, I was like, look, I can't keep doing this. I can't just sit down and just start watching like an hour, 2-hour show at a time. So I was like, look, just let me stick to one and that's it. So I was like, look, I've been a WWE fan since I was a kid. I love it still with all my heart. So I was like, I'm just going to watch that. So it's, again, not a knock against AEW.
So do you watch the entire show or do you just watch the highlights every week?
I try to watch the entire show. Sometimes I'm always like a couple days behind, but it's always recorded. And, luckily I have the network. So if I miss a pay-per-view, I can just watch it, just catch up on it.
Who's your favorite
what?
Who's your favorite these days? Who's your all-time favorite wrestler and who's your favorite wrestler these days in the new era?
Man, I'd say, okay, so all time, my personal favorite, so number one's Rey Mysterio.
Same.
And then
do you know what my email is? Do you know what my personal email is?
What is it?
It literally has 619 in it.
Of course.
Ever since I was like a little kid.
I used to be like that. Yeah, I used to be like that. So number one is Rey Mysterio. Number two is John Cena. That dude's always been like a hero of mine. And he also follows me on Twitter, which is awesome.
I feel like Batista was really good in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Salman, this dude just dropped a bomb. John Cena, Mr. You Can't See Me, follows you on Twitter.
I was surprised. I thought it was a fake account, but I woke up and I was like, oh! And then I went to show and everybody knows cool. So yeah, that was really cool. And then modern era, it's hard because I think the thing is there's not really a such thing as characters anymore. It just seems that everybody's themselves.
Yeah.
So, and plus, like, I think everybody's like, because of how meta professional wrestling is now, because everybody knows what's going on. There's no longer the mystique of, oh, is it real, is it not, or oh, are these characters actually this or that? No, it's just like everybody's just kind of themselves, just a little bit, maybe times 10, which I think kind of takes away the mystique of professional wrestling, which is like theater in a way. But I loved what Seth Rollins is doing as like his little Messiah character, which is awesome. I like Drew McIntyre. He's pretty cool. New Day's always been great for me.
New Day is I can't stand the New Day.
I think they're cool. I think they're cool.
I don't like the New Day, man.
They're having fun. That's what matters.
I'm just going to say, if these guys weren't on like the PlayStation 2 WWE games, do they even matter? Like, who are they? I don't know their names.
And that's another thing. I think a thing that's hurting WWE and professional wrestling is that the games are just not as great as they used to be. They just used to be mindless fun.
Exactly.
But now they're trying to get too technical, too Madden-like. We're like, oh, it's as realistic as possible. It's like, we don't care about being realistic. We just want to jump off cages. We don't care about that. Which is why like the quality of the games has kind of decreased a little bit. But I mean, I still try to enjoy them.
Lot.
I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe I have to agree with you on that.
One, so who knows, really? I didn't even know they were still making games, to be completely honest.
I mean, they are.
They are?
Salman,
damn.
you weren't really like a WWE fan.
Yeah, no, everything for the last like 3 minutes has been just like random letters and words to me. I've just been thinking back to like, 5th grade, like, oh yeah, I'd like keep hitting square and like I try to pick up a chair, but I don't know what button it was. And like I just lose every WWE game I've ever played. So not fun times.
Do you like cars, Shahji? Do you like cars? Are you into cars or no?
Not really. Unfortunately, not.
Man,
I appreciate.
That could be like another three podcasts if you discuss.
I mean, look, I appreciate the look of cars. I know there's a lot of things that go into it, but it's just not for me. I'm just not into it. It's just not for me.
Of course, I get that.
And you two are just like trying to bond right now. Like Saad's into MMA. Like he practices MMA. He loves wrestling. He loves cars. He's just trying to find things you like as well, and like find a new best friend for this podcast.
I totally get it. I know.
I'm just gonna latch onto that like a fucking leech, and I'm just gonna use that.
No, totally get it.
Yeah. Saman, I think we have time for one more question that you might want to ask him because I've literally been.
Of course. So I mean, I know you do movie reviews, and I'm sure you've seen some great movies. What's the worst movie you've ever seen? Or one that stands out, it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to like rank all the bad movies, but what's one that's spectacularly bad? That
off the top of my head, like Race 3's up there.
I love Race, man. I love the series, man. It's like
Race 3 was
betrayal
not
upon betrayal upon. I don't remember which race I've seen, but like it's betrayal upon betrayal upon. Like they're just like trying.
Yeah,
to
that's the
betray
third
each
one.
other.
I think that's the third one.
Yeah.
That's a horrible film. Like I'm just gonna say that.
The concept, man. Fucking
Dude,
love
I just
You
remember
like
the
the concept of bad movies?
No, yes. That's why I'm such a Fast and Furious fan. I'm such a big fan.
Yeah, that's another movie. That's another franchise that's kind of trailed off for me. I'm trying. It's just, it went from like racing cars to like, oh crap, hey, we need to defeat Black Superman. I'm just like, why? What is going on? What?
Yeah,
can you imagine like Can you imagine if you put somebody in like a time capsule? They're like, they just watched the first Fast and Furious movie. They're like, and they go to sleep. They wake up to like 2020, and they see freaking The Rock and Jason Statham fighting Black Superman, as he called himself, and you're just like, what the heck is going on? What happened between this movie and this movie? What happened?
Sal, correct me if I'm wrong. There was like actual street racing in the original like 1 or 2 Fast and Furious movies, right?
Dude, there was street racing in the first 4 movies, like actual street
racing.
Yeah,
that's why I like the movie. And then like all of a sudden
it became like heist movies. Yeah, it became like heist movies because they went with the times, because Mission Impossible started to get really good again. So they're like, oh crap, we need to match this. Here's The Rock manhandling a torpedo, which is inhumanly possible.
Oh man, The Rock can do it. He flexed out of a cast. Didn't you see that?
Yeah, right.
Dude, that man will bounce rubber bullets off of his pecs. I think he's the most realistic part of his movie. Because I know he can do that.
You think he can?
I believe in him.
I'll hold you to it.
Speaking of The Rock, does The Rock follow you on Twitter? Because I wouldn't be surprised if he followed you on Twitter.
No.
Well, maybe he should. Twitter. Maybe he should.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're hearing this,
who's like super famous? Who else follows you on Twitter?
Most famous is John. I mean, everybody else is just really respected people in the business. At least people I've known, so that's great. But like I said, I really don't care about followers. I mean, that's the one I care about, because that dude is like my hero. I mean, if Shah Rukh Khan follows me on Twitter, I will die a happy man. Like, that's it. Like, I will retire. Like, I will turn off all my devices. Like, no more. I'm like, that's it. I live life. But no. Other than that, like, I just like people enjoying my content. Just getting a lot of my stuff out there, which is great, because I want to be on that national level eventually. Whenever God willing, whenever. But right now I'm just enjoying the ride, like this. I'm just enjoying the small moments, talking to you guys, just doing movie reviews, just enjoying that stuff, because that's what it's all about.
You're wrong, dude. This is not one of the small moments. This is the big moment. This is your big break, dude. I don't know if you realize this.
No. This is it. When if I win more awards, I'll be like, look, it all started at the 2 time zones. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All
That's
right,
all
guys.
that matters. But yeah,
I think
on
we're
that
done.
note,
On that note, I think that's it. And we shall see you guys later. Peace, adios, goodbye.